That match is history. Norm Duke loosened up, arose to the occasion. Now he's got another opponent very similar to Ringeter, fireballing Dave Ferraro. But here's Duke, first shot.
Had 8 strikes in that victory, 244, leaving the 4-pin on the left lane.
The 4-pin. What happens if you knock the 4 out? The 2-pin will go to the sidewall and come between the 4 and 7 pins. It doesn't happen on this particular shot, and he leaves the 4. There's the 2-pin. Goodbye. Knocks the 7 out. There's the 4. An easy spare for Duke to start the second match.
So as he started the first match with a spare, in fact, 5 in a row. Now we get a look at Dave Ferraro, who was 10th here at the Buckeye Lanes last year. He won in Columbus, Ohio, his only title in 1986. First stroke. Well done. What a contrast in styles. Look at the profile view of a very upright bowler.
You're right, Chris, but he gets all that leverage by standing upright, a long swing. Dave is a speedball bowler, not a very high backswing, but he makes it very long by standing upright and a good uplift with the ball as he goes through the shot. A little stiff-legged at the line, but he gets the job done. He has a great, relaxed, or what I call loosey-goosey arm swing. This man never tightens up, has great pin carry. Like that.
The man who crossed this championship pair twice, averaging 246. Here's the hit.
What a great break. Watch the action of the 6-pin as it just love taps the 10. There it lays down in the channel. Boom. Those pins know if a player's relaxed and has something on the ball. All right, Duke. He came to life. The one thing he has to guard against in this match is getting too slow with the bowling ball. He was rolling 16 and 17 miles an hour last match. He can't get any slower.
The line on the right lane for Duke, perfect. Shooting on the left, third frame with that striker course working. By rounds, where he stood.
After the first 18 games, which is the round 3, he was in 6th place. He closed in the last round very strongly, finishing in 4th. Right now, he's shooting for the number 3 position if he can defeat Dave Ferraro. Now let's see if Duke uses a little more speed on this left-hand lane to avoid the high hit and keep the string going.
Well done. Next up in the bright red shirt is Dave Ferraro. You may remember him at the Quaker State Open, Jeannie Halsey's fine establishment in Grand Prairie, where he won 2 matches and then met Brian Voss, our tournament leader here in Cleveland, and lost.
Duke's shot absolutely perfect on the left lane. Ferraro has 2 strikes in a row.
Leaving the 2-5.
The championship pair, the left-hand lane hooks about 1 board more than the right-hand lane. So what happens to Dave Ferraro, his ball slides by, the head pin goes to sideboard. Instead of coming back and mixing all the pins over on the left-hand side, it just slides behind the 2-pin, leaves in the 2-5. He has to avoid the chop, try to take the 2 and the 5 with the ball.
Gives him 48 for the second with the spare up. We're in our second match. If you just joined us, you missed a humdinger where Norm Duke defeated Bill Ringeter 244 to 243. Winner of this game will meet Mats Carlson and then Brian Voss as we look at Dave's wife, Gloria. All right, striking the 4th frame for Dave Ferraro going against Norman Duke. We'll be back with more after this. Toledo next week, but it's a hot time here at the Buckeye Lanes in North Olmsted, Ohio. Norm Duke, while we were away, doubled, making it 4 in a row. And he's going out to a 22-pin lead. Ferraro can cut that by 10 with a strike up in the 4th, now shooting in the 5th. And he does just that. A pro from Kingston, New York. There you'll see our 1987 average leaders.
U.S. Open winner Del Ballard up there. Holman, who's failed to garner a title. Pete Weber hasn't won anything this year either. Houston, and there's Dave Ferraro, who's in this match today. 215. Obviously an upgraded scoring over the previous years. We've shown you that before on ABC. The tour's averages are up about 5 pins per man. I think it's really a good move. Now here's Ferraro to cut the lead to 2.
Come on.
All right. Tremendous competition here. And you'll hear Duke from the crowd. They're rooting for the lad from Fort Worth, Texas.
Here's a great shot, Chris, to see how the player plays the line. Right down the first arrow, right in the pocket. Tremendous angle to carry all the pins out.
Duke with 4 in a row in his victory over Ringener, 244 to 243, 7 strikes.
And Speech's family is working hard to find funding.
Linebacker. There are his fans.
The staccato chant, Duke, Duke, Duke. We heard it in 1983, and it was the impetus and drive to help bring him the title of that year. Obviously, it's helped him so far as he got a tremendous break in the first match by winning by 1 pin over Phil Ringener. Here in this match, he's just bowling so well. And Chris, the way he's carrying that 10 pin out is just marvelous. That high tracking roll that you can hear going down the lane is doing the trick on the pins. Listen to the ball hit the thumb hole.
Very animated. 23 years old. We're in our second match. More of it will be coming your way, but first, this message. Okay, while we were away, perfection continues on the part of Dave Ferraro. You see it there. 5 in a row now. And why do I say while we're away? Well, we're running behind our time schedule because of somewhat slow bowling and a lot of spares in the first match. We have 90 minutes to get 4 matches in and give you a champion, so that's why we have to do it.
Norm Duke, used to high-scoring matches, is one of the players that was involved in the perfect 300-game tie in Las Vegas. Purvis Granger, Norm Duke in the 24-match game finals this year at the Showboat, tied at 300. The other perfect tie we had was Tommy Baker and Pete Weber in Denver a few years back. Now here's Duke, 2-pin lead.
7 in a row. NCAA Championships Live.
Should be great, Chris. We also have the Athlete of the Week, but in the wrestling, you got to watch Oklahoma this year, Penn State this year. They've all beaten Iowa in the in dual meets during the year, and Iowa should have their hands full. Iowa State also very tough. Here's Duke, 12-pin lead.
Well, Duke was going for 8 in a row. University of Iowa wrestling team going for 10 in a row NCAA championships.
The action of the 6-pin. Duke has had it working so well, driving it straight back into the 10-pin. Not to be on this particular shot. Not quite enough leverage on the pin. It slides right by the 10-pin, ends his streak of 7 strikes in a row here in the 9th frame. You would think with 7 in a row, he'd have the match well in hand. Not so. With this conversion, he would only lead in the match by 11 pins. Ferraro, a possible 278, his opponent.
Blew it.
That is something that a player should never do. He has so many strikes, he kind of forgot how to shoot spares. And here's what happened. He just opens the door for Dave Ferraro. Duke went from a potential 11-pin lead to a 1-pin deficit. Ferraro took the lead on the bench. Let's see if he jumps right on it in this shot.
Come on.
That he does. Like Duke, Ferraro going for his 2nd PBA title. Dave's been on the tour 8 years. Comes from a bowling family, a bowling establishment in Kingston, New York. Having a roof caved in during a Quaker State Open, and Bo, we're happy to report that Steve and his father Jack have reopened the establishment as of Thursday.
Back in business, and so is Dave Ferraro in this match. He just told Norm Duke with that last shot, this is the Professional Bowlers Tour. You do not miss 10 pins. With this shot, he'll put Duke away. See you later.
Amazing.
Norm
out of the woodwork.
You're right, Chris. Norm Duke, the best he can bowl is 257. Ferraro's already in the 260s. One slight mistake, Norm Duke, and see you later. Tremendous performance, but not enough today. Ferraro just needs a routine pin count of any type. Just a few pins on this ball, and he is the winner. That salts it away right there, Chris.
Right.
Yep.
What a performance, Dave Ferraro, after Duke's great performance in the first match, 244 to 243. And this was where Norm Duke left himself down.
Now watch his footwork. See if he slides or slips a little bit as he comes through. See him kind of get a little bit off balance. Too much angle. He starts way on the left side instead of around the third arrow. The ball slides off. It's the difference in the match.
Definitely was the difference. It was a big match.
All right, for the winner of 277. Now it's time for Nelson Burton's Tip of the Week.